to help people understand open learning or unschooling or whatever the terms are. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll take a quick 5-7 minutes, not more than that, to quickly introduce kind of the concept of open learning, and in the same way also that will help me introduce Aarohi, and then over to both of you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my name is Ratnesh, and I'm part of this open learning community, Aarohi. And one of the things that we want to start with is that there are a lot of these terms. Somebody calls it open learning, somebody calls it unschooling, homeschooling, free schooling. Uh, what we're trying to say is that don't bother about the names. These are just terms given by different people. Finally, it's where you want to be at a particular time. It's like a continuum. On one side, there is the conventional schooling, which is quite structured. There is a curriculum driven. There's not much child for the choice. There's not much choice for the child. On the other end, there is open learning, which is how where Aarohi is, where there's no structure, no curriculum. It's very open. The child chooses. But different people are, move on this continuum. Sometimes they tend to have more structure, sometimes less structure in their journey, in the same journey over a period of time. So I would say let's not get caught up in the terms, but let's just see where we are and how we want to do. So this is for every parent. You have to think about where you are right now and what is the need of, let's say, the family or the child, and take it from there. Yeah. um, for us, the two things that are really important are, one is that the child is the leader, right? That's the whole idea, because the child is the leader of her life. Who else could be the leader? I mean, each one of us wants to lead our own lives, and so it's very obvious, just that we haven't necessarily given this to the child. So our whole objective is to invite the child to lead his or her life, and we will hear your story today. So, and I'm sure there are a lot of interesting um, aspects of this, the child being leader of herself. And the other aspect is of the child being part of a community or an ecosystem. Now, the ecosystem, obviously, the first community the child gets is the parents and the family, and then obviously friends, relatives, and so on. And in our case, we have even roped in, you can call it, or whatever. We have thought of it this way, that more families come together and kind of support each other, help each other in this journey, and also inspire each other, which is why this Saturday webinar, where we meet different people. Yeah. So I'll run a small 1-minute video just to show a little montage of what different children do and how they look at themselves. This video is also made by a child, um, and then over to the guest. Right. Okay. I was just checking for the sound, so let me just play the video. Just one moment. Yeah.
Connecting with people is amazing.
I like chit-chatting with my friends while eating.
An opportunity to take all the guests around the tour, around the campus.
Currently, I'm working on improving myself so I can play in a club next year.
I get resources and support to fulfill my passion for sketching.
I sketch many things of animals, birds.
In Aarohi, I am a guest and I can find my space here, pursuing my interest on upcycling.
I drum to express my emotion and it makes me feel lighter. In bird watching, I learn a lot of things. What is color of bird, and
I like the time when I spend with the community playing sports.
I spend time doing projects related to cinematography and video editing.
I like organizing trips in Aarohi, kyunki your opportunity is to organize trips.
Video making is awesome. It's productive and you get an awesome outcome.
I like to do electrical work. I've put many.
I connect with the planning here, gives me clarity.
I like playing with the cats. I learn crochet and teach others எனக்கு சமைக்கிறதுக்கு இங்கே ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும்.
All the resources here are new to me to explore.
Okay.
Yeah, so over to our guests today, Iniyaal and Sharmila. And yeah, what I know is I personally met Iniyaal and Sharmila both last year, just before the COVID. And I really enjoyed being with them, and especially the way Iniyaal connects with people and connects with herself. We stayed together for 2 days, and the way Sharmila flows with her, with and the Karthikeyan who's not there in this call today. So I thought it will be worth. Means I don't know of your story of 7 years. What I know is the final product right now, but it would be nice to listen from you the story, and your own process of going through this journey. So over to you, both of you.
Thank you, Aditi. Thank you so much for introducing us. And the video was awesome. And Ratnesh was telling that a child made it, and superb video.
Yeah.
And to start with, um, I was also putting my daughter in the regular school at the early age of 2.5 in a play school, then moved her to LKG, UKG, and first standard and second standard was her regular schooling. So, during that time, I did not feel comfortable in the way she was progressing, or the way she was reacting in going to school or doing the homework or sitting in the classroom for long hours. And uh, these were all initial struggles, but started becoming a big trouble for us in handling every day. Every day she will cry in the morning to go to school, and the regular scenario. And I thought I should do something about it, why she doesn't want to go to school. And observing her more and started talking to her more. And I started increasing her playtime. I wanted to keep her mentally happy and active. I don't want her to, feel so sad going to school, down day by day and going to regular school. Then I understood her difficulty was in writing. She did not want to write, wherein she was forced to write that particular page, complete that page in that period. If not, she was given homework to complete that at home. Even at home, she doesn't want to write. She completely doesn't want to write at all. So this was her difficulty. I understood that later, and I had to talk to teachers about it, wherein they were giving her special classes to improve her writing, improve the speed. Wherein I have to give a lot of time and effort for that, where she didn't have time for other activities to mingle with other children, or play, or have her own life. Or um, her social life was not that happy because she was trying to spend time in writing, and I didn't want that kind of writing activity to be forced at that age. I thought, let me give a lot of time and let her improve on her own. Then that was the initial spark to have a thought of not sending her to school. But I did not make a complete decision of stopping her from school. Then I had to think about the other methods of educating her, or other methods of improving her skills, or something like that. And in that learning, that was the learning for me. That was my understanding. In that process, I understand that there's nothing to teach, or there is nothing to bring out anything from the children. the process is just give them the minimal support and let them free is what I understood from that process. Then slowly I had to read books about children, their pattern of learning and all. I had to go through that kind of understanding, and I made a conclusion that I'm going to bring her out of the school, but because of the social pressure and peer pressure and other stuff, I could not make a concrete decision of completely getting her out of the school. So I still enrolled her in the school, but did not send her to school. So most of the time I keep her with myself. I will take her to different places like wildlife NGOs, and some music concerts and some theaters. These kind of activities we started doing, and still she was enrolled in the school. And slowly after getting into all those activities, having a free life, not really sitting in the classroom for long hours, I saw that emotional shift in her. She started being happy and healthy too, and and I saw the changes and I started feeling really happy, and I had to rethink again everything from the first to make my decision very strong. Then we had to have a discussion as a family with Iniyal's father, and he has to understand the complete idea because he is also monitoring all the changes that's from the child, that how she was when she was going to school and when she was not able to write but still forced to write, and all these changes. Then we had to make a decision of not sending her to school, and we got her out of the school. And immediately after getting her out of the school, the social pressure, I would say, and a lot of our well wishers started asking, like, what is this? Why is this? And it was a very difficult time for me at that time to explain everybody like why I made that decision. Like every homeschooler would have come across this kind of pressure, and I had to come across that too, and I had to face that too. And so answering them, convincing them. At one point, it was not possible to convince everybody around us. So we had to choose our own path, and we were going like that. So this is how I started thinking about homeschooling. And initially, it was a struggle for me because just to make the decision and to convince people around me. And after making the decision, we started feeling ourselves very happy. We felt like liberated, feeling the time. There's no time constraint, like finish this by this time, reach home by this time. That was a liberation I had at that time, I felt. But slowly, after a few months, we started becoming too disorganized, too much of togetherness itself created some problems, and we started becoming unsure of our decisions again. And again, I was trying to connect with people who were doing homeschooling, and I was talking to different people who don't go to school, and or even the schoolers who change their schools, not happy with the schools. I was again trying to form ideas, and but though I was confused, though I had second thoughts, though I was having not happy with it after a few months, though I was having a lot of doubts and confusions, I did not change my plan of immediately putting her to school, because I strongly believed and I saw the changes in her. She started talking to animals, she started talking to pets, so many things, and slowly started to enjoy her own time. And the development was so obvious. I saw the soul getting so happier and happier as she spent her days in a relaxed way. Then I thought there should be some changes in the pattern of our thinking and in the pattern of my own behavior, And so that is the thing that has to be worked on, but not putting her back to school is what the understanding that I did add later. Then we had to again revert, like we had to make some organized living because too much of disorganized stuff made a mess. Then again, we had to not too much of organized stuff, but a bit of organized activities, so that that did not disturb my emotional well-being. Too much of togetherness is what the problem that I identified. Then we had to work on that. And the other point was the peer group. So I had to work on the peer group. So that was a major disadvantage I had at the early stages. Then I had to work on that to give her own peer group, form groups, make some group activities so that she interacts with her own age group children. And I identified her as a pet lover, and I had to take her to many places and give her a lot of time to interact with pets and all. So all these changes had made us to settle uh, in homeschooling. We did not think about any curriculum or learning or skill development or achieve goals or run behind the goals and anything like that. It was just happily settling down with the decision was the initial days and initial idea. So that itself took almost a year and a half, I would say. The transition period itself was a quite long one for me. It took almost a year or more than a year. Then after the transition completely happened, we were really happy because we started understanding what are the disadvantages with the qualities that I have or she has, and as a surroundings that we have, and the advantages also we started understanding because we already started living at that kind of environment, of homeschooling environment. So we started understanding both the advantages as well as the disadvantages. So we had a lot of time to work out on each and everything, to work out on the disadvantages that we had. And so slowly it took, the transition itself took 1.5 years. And after that, we became very strong in not going back to school and pursuing the interest. So this was the initial transition.
So there are some questions, but we'll take little later. All those who are listening to them, Iniyaal, if you are comfortable, would you like to share something?
I actually didn't like going to school when I used to go to school because every time when they write on the board and before I complete, they used to erase because everyone else in the classroom used to write really fast. I wasn't able to write really fast. So I had a very difficult time then. Then my teacher would tell me to go outside the class and sit or stand. But then I never felt sad because I used to keep looking at the birds outside the window. I used to keep looking at the people outside the window. So I never felt bad that time. But I used to think, why only me standing outside the class? Then I told my mom that I don't want to go to a place like that. And moreover, I don't like to sit in a place. I always like to stay outdoors. Sitting in a class for so much time made me upset. So I told my mom, and then she homeschooled me, and now I'm all outdoors. I love playing with cats, and I have a lot of cats at home. So I'm really happy now after homeschooling.
So in this whole story, we haven't heard anything about, or we would like to love to hear about Parai and music and the shows and Kaliripattu and all those different things. And if possible, maybe watch a little video. Some of the videos which I have watched I didn't tell you in advance earlier, but if possible, maybe towards the end, we can watch some of your performance also. So Iniyaal or Sharmila, would you like to talk a little more about that?
Yes, yes. So once I came to know that she's having difficulty in writing, she's not able to cope up with the regular kind of educational system, then I had to think about what to do and what kind of, as every parent worries about, and what is going to be her future, how is she going to get educated, what is going to be her sustainable kind of lifestyle. So, but at the same time, I don't want to think too much and take her to another way of confined set of lifestyle. So then I decided, let me leave her free. And initially, when I left her free to identify her way of living and what does she really wants, again, getting too much into using phones and sitting always in front of TV, spending most of the time, and this was a very bad sign for me. And again, I have to work on that. So we started traveling. We didn't have, now we're not having TV at home. As a family, we have to come to an understanding. As a family, we had to compromise on the TV time or everything, using gadgets and everything. So we had to, there's no point in one in the family is using gadgets and telling her not to use. So as a whole family, we had to come to an understanding, keep all the gadgets away. And we started traveling actually. So on the travel to some villages or to places, and we learned about the the folk art, the folk culture, folk art, and I was basically interested in this folk music, and I wanted to learn it. That is how I learned. And she did not learn. Of course, the weight of the parais was so heavy. She was too small to handle the instrument itself. So I learned. I started learning the dance and the music, and from different parts of uh, Tamil Nadu, meeting different people. I learned, I came back when I was practicing at home. She was seeing that, and then she showed her interest towards learning that. And then I also pulled her in. We started learning Parai. So, and we got something on our hand, like learning this. So this Parai itself made us to travel to different places. So traveling, when traveling gives a lot of development.
Yeah.
Staying in different places, meeting different people, and that too for the cause of learning folk arts itself. So we met different people with different lifestyles, different cultures, and this was feeling very nice, very fulfilled, very open, and new ideas, and it was completely refreshing for the whole family. So we thought, okay, now we have got a path, kind of. So and through the contacts of Parai, again she learned Silambatam. Silambatam is also something related with the folk culture itself. It is similar to Kalaripaitu, that is a martial art. It is called Silambam. So she started learning that. And again, we did not have masters or anybody here in Bangalore teaching that. So we had to again travel to different parts of Tamil Nadu to learn that. So most of the time we spent in traveling and learning the skills, and the travel was together. So we had the bonding between us became more, and we started, when we did not have anything to do when we started homeschooling. I said too much of togetherness was a problem. But after we identified that we're going to travel, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to develop our skills together, the togetherness was in a different way. That was so nice.
And what I saw both of you when I met, you were two partners in not mother and daughter, or not together, or not separated out, two souls. The way you were organizing the Parai workshop, and I think that brings, somebody's also asking what is Parai. So it's you just want to give a little brief
Or a demo.
or a demo. I think that would be wonderful.
Demo, will you bring the Parai? Go.
That would, and if
Yeah.
in sing
So, yes, that Parai is
No, no, please don't
drum.
tell. Let her play.
Yeah, it's a folk drum that is always played in group and also with dancing. Now she's going to compress the sound with a cushion at the backside and play because it is highly amplifying, and Zoom app itself will not accept that high sound. So we are trying to compress the sound and play it for you. Is a instrument visible?
Yeah, we can see. Yes, we can see. Yeah. It's
And
yeah.
now we are compressing the sound and playing. Yeah. Can you play? Yeah.
Little more sound.
Sorry?
Little
You're
more
not.
sound. I think we are not able to hear.
You're not able to hear?
Yeah.
Little more sound. Right now. Open for you. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Thanks for giving a live demo.
Was that clear?
Yeah, not as much as I have seen in person and the energy, but yeah, just to give the demo of what this instrument is, and the way Iniyaal holds the command over the the instrument and the music and the dance and the body movement, and that's something which we need to maybe experience next time whenever you're doing anybody is interested. The point is not that. The point is that uh, even things like social connection, how she was making friends with all ages, teaching us, being with us, understanding our problems, being our teacher in that workshop, holding the space with another teacher who was the guru of the space, and connecting, as well as connecting with children of her age, connecting children with the workshop was in a school, and then how different children coming together. So a lot of things which comes in a mind, a lot of apprehensions which comes in a mind, that okay, what if, okay, academics are not there, then what if this is not there, then what if. So that was a live demo, that how both of you were able to bring that into your life. Uh, yeah, I think let me also take a few questions, and then as things goes, we can. So Inyal, feel free to add whatever you want to add in between. Yeah. So Mansi is asking what kind of organized activities you started. You mentioned in the beginning that then we started some organized, and who initiated these activities?
I started initiating organizing stuff, and weekly once I started taking her to a place. It's a wildlife NGO where we volunteered ourselves. So once in a week we go there to do some physical activity, to do some labor work there in
Mhm.
cleaning, helping them in cooking, and it's a wildlife NGO where
It's in
they have.
Bangalore. Is it in Bangalore?
It's in Bangalore.
Okay, you're talking about Prani or some other
No,
place?
not Prani. It is called Wildlife SOS.
Okay,
It is inside National Park, National.
Bangalore.
Yes, Banana.
Bangalore. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Yeah.
So they have captive bears. It's a rehabilitation center for bears, and so they cook a huge amount of porridge and other things for the bears, and so we go into the kitchen, do labor work, cleaning work. So that activity
So was it that the mama bear and the baby bear, all that stories coming alive, those fairy tale stories? When you're talking about porridge and the bear.
So exactly. And we started working there, and we started interacting with different people there. A community which take cares of the bears, who does physical work, cleaning and mopping and feeding animals, zookeepers.
Mm-hmm.
And am I audible?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
And the other communities are doctors, veterinarians who maintain the medical records, and the other people were administrators who were doing the clerical work, the administration work. So they were different, and the others were organizers and photo taking, photo people and these kind of people. So we had a chance to interact with everybody there,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
everybody. So as a person, she started interacting with every person. She became assistant for everybody there. So one day she was given the work of cleaning, sweeping, mopping, or washing, sometimes cleaning the medical equipments of the bears, um, sometimes some administration work, like copying some data into another book, writing the names and stuff. So sometimes going with the people for taking pictures, sometimes all kind of work she started doing every day, one kind of new activity. And I saw a good the personality development was happening with interacting with all kind of people, talking to them in their own style, and eating with them any kind of food. She started accepting any kind of food. So these are all the changes. The adaptability that I saw in her was awesome. So I felt really happy. As a child, she was not very fussy about very food or meeting different people or not comfortable with them. It was not like that. She was able to gel with everybody. So that was one fine quality that I noticed about her. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that was one part. That wildlife stuff was one part. And once we started learning Parai and we became confident that we can perform in the show, we can do that much of practice and perform, then we thought we will teach our friends. So we started teaching our own friends. Then again, I wanted to do that in a bigger picture. So I started conducting workshops. So with all her assistants again, she started assisting for that. So she also started practicing and performing and also teaching. And we formed a big group. You would have seen the group. So we would have made a big group and started performing. So then slowly she started taking the role of a performer, performing on stage, addressing the audience, explaining the audience what the art form is, and showing them, performing them, dancing with the music. And she again started developing the kind of a bold personality, openly talking on the stage. And the kind of feel that she had when she had was going to school, that she was not able to do something with which what others were doing, that is completely vanished. So now she took a real transformation, a real different person. She used to feel shy to talk to her own friends because she felt very incomplete at that time. Now that is all gone. And now that is all gone. She's becoming a very confident and open person now. So at the Parai has started that. And slowly through Parai, through the contacts of Parai, she started observing people doing Silambam, and she wanted to do that. So again, we started traveling for Silambam. She learned that. She has reached heights in that. And then she started going in for tournaments. Then she saw the winning and losing in tournaments. That has given a different dimension of understanding the winning and losing part. And participating in competitions of, in a huge platform and all those things. And once that is all done, um, she suddenly became too much inclined towards music. So I had to put her in music vocals. Then she started singing Western classical, and now she is giving her Trinity Level 5 exams.
Okay, so Mansi, that
So,
I hope that sorry, go ahead. You was sharing something.
so now she's learning Western vocals. She's writing her Trinity Level 5 exams now this month. And while developing the musical interest, she also had the love for ballet always, the ballet dance, the piano music and the ballet dance. She was asking that for almost 5, 6 years that she wanted to learn ballet, but and I felt that is a expensive stuff. The costume or the uniform or the class fees, everything was expensive from my side. So I had to keep a hold on that, explaining that I cannot offer you that. So I had to wait, and then as she was continuously asking, she was ready to cut down her own expenses to to go into the class. Then seeing her interest again, I have put her in ballet. She's completed some 1.5 year, 2 years in her ballet classes. From prelim to grade 1. Now from grade 1, she's going to move to grade 2 in her ballet classes. So,
Nancy, we hope that gives the answer to your second question, which she has asked, that how was the reception of the child for organized activities? So that I think Sharmila has covered. Anything else, Sharmila,
yeah.
is how Iniyal's reception was when you started bringing different kind of things for her?
Sorry?
Yeah, anything with Inial's reception. I think you have already shared that how she took up the things and how she got involved into. So that's the Mansi's next question. That what was Inial's reaction to these organized activities which you brought for her, say going to the wildlife once in a week and other things. Yeah.
Yeah, she felt really happy because there was no pressure. The only the thing was, as I said, she's an outdoor person, and when I was trying to get into the organized thing, everything I planned for her was only outdoor activities. So everything was outdoor activities. Nothing was indoor. I understood that she wanted to be outdoors always. So everything I planned for her was outdoors. So it was really happy for her, and she actively involved in everything. If I take one step, she will take 2 steps. So I just have to take 1 or 2 steps and sit and just stay there, and she will take more steps, and it will evolve like I will follow her, take her bags and follow her. So this is how it has been.
So I'll take up the related question what Dwiji has just posted right now for Enial. Are you having to write down music ballet steps? That if yes, then how are you managing writing your mu- music lessons and ballet lessons? Do you have to write that?
Yeah, this is one important thing that I would like to share. The moment there is no, you're writing ballet music and all, you're writing notes, right? So you're asking like she's writing notes and how is she managing to write when
Yes,
she's not
yes,
able to
yes,
write?
yes.
The thing is, she is also involved in some theater activities, which she loved the most in her life. So the group activity, the group games they play, the theater activity they do is she loved the most, and the music also she loved the most. So she had to write the lyrics, she had to write the scripts in the theater.
Sharmila, if you don't mind,
All her
can
brain
you
was
speak
working
about her
in the
experience?
music and the theater. She did not even know that she's writing, and she herself forced her to write. Nobody, this time, nobody forced her. She said, if I am not writing this, now how will I read my lyrics in the song? So she had to force herself. That happened so happily. The writing, the development of the writings happened so happily that she did not force herself. Just by writing the lyrics of the songs, she learned to write English. That was a passive learning. All the English communication that she developed and the grammar or the writing that she's developed is all because of the music classes that she has gone and the lyrics that she has written. And now she writes stories now.
Oh,
She has some volumes of stories written.
and you didn't share that with us earlier.
And she has some volumes of her own, the pet stories, the stories about her pets, and she's forming her own concepts and she's writing some stories. Now her vocabulary and her writing skill is so much improved that uncomparable. I'm so happy about it actually.
So maybe we can rephrase what you said in the beginning is that not that she has difficulty in writing, is that she didn't want to write what somebody else was asking her to write. So
exactly, and the age also matters. At that age, she was not able to give the grip to the pen or pencil, and she did not have the strength to continuously write for a page at that age. Maybe after her physical activity or after she gained that those the strength in her body to her muscles in her body to hold something, grip and continuously write, or the mental development that she had after 3 or 4 years, I would say.
yeah.
Then she was asked to write in her first standard or second standard, she was not able to. But now she's supposed to be in her seventh standard. If at all she's going to school. Now she's able to do everything by her own. Nobody's
Yeah.
forcing her. Yeah.
So we should definitely change that statement that she has difficulty in writing. She doesn't have any difficulty in writing. It's just that the time she needed or the reason she needed to write, say story, say
Yes.
theater, say music, say ballet, or say her speech which she makes when she's performing
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
various thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So related to this, I saw one question which asking that what were your expectations when you started these activities? Ruchi is asking, like when you started, that, did you expect anything now that she will respond to it, or you just started?
I did not expect anything. It was all just a try. I did not expect anything. The things have just evolved like that. I did not. I don't believe in expecting from a child at all. So I have learned that if I don't, I'm not expecting at all nowadays, and we just feel it as a journey, and we just happily go, whether we fail or pass or fall down or we dust and we get up and we walk. That's what I have learned from her.
So I think Dviji is also asking if Iniyaal is comfortable, if she wants to talk a little more about this whole journey of writing or music or ballet.
Ballet, I go to archery classes now. I have fitness class every morning at 4:30, and in the evening I have the time always changes 6:30, 7.
Your voice is breaking. Iniyaal, you want to come a little closer?
Yeah. So I am going to archery classes now. The classes start in the morning at 4:30.
Okay.
It goes till morning 6 sometimes, and we have fitness class even in the evening. The time changes 6:30 to 7 or 7 to 8. In between, I manage to play with my friends because playing is also a very important thing, and I love playing. So I managed to play with my friends. In between, I have my music class, and now my music exam is going. So I have to record a lot because it's online. I have to record again and again, seeing my mistakes. I have recording, and I have to practice my ballet. As just now, my ballet exams have got over, and coming February, I'm gonna again have my grade exams for ballet. So in between, I play with my cats, have fun, and how much of a work I do it with fun, so it doesn't feel like I'm doing any work.
Okay, thanks. Did you hope that what you were looking for? There are a couple of responses to what you are talking about, and I think people are talking about wow, amazing, inspiring. Preeti saying my daughter is kind of Iniyaal type. So Sharmila, if you're comfortable, share your number so they can connect
Yes.
you.
Should I type my number in the
Yes, that
chat?
would be, yeah, that would be wonderful so people can connect with you. And then Marcy is also saying it's amazing to see that these concepts that we have only read in books and really coming true in life. I'm assuming Mansi is referring to that reading and writing part which you were talking about. That we only read these stories of somebody else. Now we have somebody alive in front of us sharing that story, that journey. And that's quite inspiring.
Let's say, I still remember a day where she said, I don't want to go to school today. I want to play with the cats, kittens. So we got her things packed, waiting for the school bus with the school bag and the lunch bag. Just the bus is coming from there. At that point of time, we both decided not to go to school today and just come back and play with the cats. So that decision, that kind of decision that I made that day, not sending her just for playing with the cats.
Wonderful.
So that has now taken her to a level where she is volunteering in an NGO, where she is knowing more about wildlife, and she started writing some journals about wildlife. Now that day has taken her to this day, I would say.
Avni is also acknowledging that it's quite a lot of difference we have made in Inyal's life. So she's appreciating. Dwiji has also put some link to the Parai performance, which some of you are looking for. But I will also share Inyal's actual video.
Oh.
in the WhatsApp group, I'll share that, and then you can see the energy. She Lakshmi, there is one more question which Avni is asking, that I homeschool my child, started this March. He loves entertainment of all most of the time, TV, games, indoor, outdoor, computer, but nothing in particular. Avni, if you can also put how old is your son? She's also saying he's very organic in the sense he goes in the direction of the lead given, but generally has no particular direction or recurring interest. How long should I wait till he makes decision for himself? And should I worry or should I let him be? What do you say, Sharmila?
Initially, as I said, as I started homeschooling when she was 7, 8, 9 years also, she was too much distracted, always in the phone or gadgets, most of the time in the gadgets. Then, as a family, we had to rework on that. We had to give up on all that lifestyle that we were used to as IT professionals. And we had to make a lot of changes again. No TV at home, no gadgets at home, kind of. And intentionally put her to boredom. and and I went through a lot of quarrel, fighting with her, not talking to each other, and we went through all those things like any other people, and eventually we understood. I made her understand what boredom is. I literally put her in boredom for weeks and months together. She had nothing to do at home, no TV, no gadgets, no friends. All her friends go to school, and she had only option of cats because they don't go to school. They are always available. So other than that, she did not have anything to do at home. Almost, I would say, 6 months to 8 months. No travel, nothing, and that kind of boredom. I think I should say at the age of 8, 8 years. So she started thinking of what should I do, how should I make my day, how should I come out of this boredom, should I draw, should I write, should I paint? So,
Yeah.
and these were and these my knowledge of putting her in intentional boredom was acquired knowledge through some of the books.
Mm-hmm.
I would say John Holt, his series of book like How Child Learns or How Child Fails, or this some reference book of Maria Montessori, and these are all acquired knowledge of mine. I
Yeah.
did not have any pre idea, or it was not well planned, and it is not as rosy as what people see in the video. We had a lot of misunderstanding, we had a lot of setbacks, we had second thoughts, we had fights, we had all kind of emotional trauma. That was all the transition period, I would say. And after all those roller coasters, and now we have clearly settled down. This is what we need, this is what we don't need, this is going to be our path, or let's go in this. That's okay if we fail, or um, I don't know. People still ask this question: what will your daughter do after 18 years? After, what is going to be her profession if she's not into a regular school or something like that? And I still don't have any answer for that. I still don't have any answer for that. So I'm just trying to. I don't want to, push or do anything with the child. I wanted my child to be happy, healthy, have a memorable childhood, even after she's growing up as an adult. When she's turning back her childhood, it should be full of memories, good ones. That is the intention driving me to have the activities. So I stopped expecting from my daughter after making the choice of homeschooling.
So Dwiji is also commenting that it's almost like a movie, yeah, that your mother and daughter standing near the bus and the bus going and you're not entering, playing with the cat. So we all this here, but we can now see that how in actual people are doing this, taking these decisions that okay, right now what is important for me is here. Avni is also asking to share the books. If somebody can just type for Avni, John Holt, How People Learn. That's quite a known in the homeschooling and
Available online.
schooling, and most of them are available online. Yeah, I can also share on WhatsApp group. Avni has also said that 10 years. So Avni, I hope you get the answer. You said you'll try the boredom kind of approach. So what Iniyaal, what Sharmila is sharing, I just want to reinforce that. So it's not that if you shift from one path to another path, it's a very rosy path, so you're choosing that path. Yeah, every path has its own ups and downs, or whatever you can say, the masala into that, the spices of that path. But then finally, as Sharmila is saying, what matters to me is the child. Yeah, so what matters to you is that will take you to that path. Yeah, so if the child matters to you, if the child's understanding matters to you, then you will figure out how Sharmila has been sharing that how we did some changes in our lifestyle, we did some changes in our thinking, we did some changes the way we were approaching, we did bring a lot of whatever, some exposure for her, we did gave her some opportunity. You also did also deny some opportunity, as you saying that the ballet, it took 2 years to start the classes or start that opportunity. So it's mix of all. So we are not talking about a rosy environment, we're not talking about goody things. That's not the life is about. In fact, one of the homeschooler, I was talking to her, she's now her children are in 30s, so that old experience. She said one of the good aspect or one of the best thing of homeschooling was that we had lots of bad days because those bad days allowed us to connect with each other, understand each other, and I can see coming alive what Sharmila and Iniyaal are sharing, that how things works out, how we understand ourselves. So Abni, I hope that gives answer to your question, that you're saying 10-year-old boy and how long you should wait, or how should you let him be do. I don't think that there's one answer to it. You have to understand what are his choices, how can you bring exposure for him, how things works for him, how is responding to that, what is he not responding. Yeah, Sharmila, anything else you want
Yeah,
to add to this?
yeah. What you said is right.
Yeah, so
Bad days. I I I I accept that. The bad days is kind of molding us because when she was going to school, just packing, setting her, and waiting for her till evening, coming back doing homework, did not bring any masala to the life, as you said. So the bad days uh, gotten more chemistry between us. I was able to understand. She was able to understand, and she was able to at least express what she wants, at least with anger and stress.
Ane is asking, as a parent, we are concerned about the career or independent. That's wonderful that she is doing so many things. How do you want to take your journey of life in future?
Uh, I should say I have no plans. It is just like a I'm just taking it like a unplanned travel. It may take us anywhere. I'm open.
Well, Iniyaal, what do you think? Do people ask you this question?
Yeah, many people ask this question. I wanted to be a farmer when I was little, and then I want to be a veterinary doctor now. But then after knowing that I wanted to be a veterinarian doctor because just because I wanted to be with animals. But now I know that I can be with animals even without writing meat and even without being a vet. So I want to work in a zoo as a zookeeper. I want to keep a wildlife sanctuary. I want to keep our own school. I want to make a school, and I want children who think like me to come to that school and learn many different, things like how I do. And yeah, that's it. I have my plans, but it's not fixed still.
Oh, wonderful. I think that that beats up any other plan, what she has the clarity at this moment. Yeah. Yeah, I think quite a lot of it flatter in Yal to go ahead and create your path. So go ahead and then do what.
She is left. What about your plans of becoming a music teacher?
Yeah, in the school I will teach music, I'll teach ballet.
You have more than what you can handle in a day. So and I think I also forget that not what Iniyaal will become tomorrow. I think she's something today. Yeah, she has already so much in her hand and connected with herself, and that itself gives the kind of a I will not say you not use the word comfort, but I think that itself gives us a connection with the child, that where is the child moving. Yeah, even we won't know what we will do after 10 years, but we know we are doing something right now, and that's quite encouraging. Yes, Iniyaal, we should have more speeches from you, that how people can start schools and how people can become music teacher and dance teacher and Parai teacher. Yeah.
In between, she wants to do farming also. Now she has let me know that I have to work something on now.
Preeti is saying both of you together are giving a lot of positive energy, and I'm sure the one who are hearing will get a lot of positive energy about this whole concept, that how it's possible, how how things can move on, and how we can see what we want to do. So it's not only about the child. I think anybody wants to give up your whatever you're doing and you're not liking it, let the bus go. Don't ride that bus. Give up that bus. Maybe learn from Iniyaal,
Yes.
come play with cats and do what you feel like doing, and then you see how it connects yourself
Yes.
with. So I've tried taking most of the question. If any questions are not answered, if you can just type it or copy paste again in the chat window. Saraswati has been just sharing her experience. She learning school and joyful and kind of a thing. Mm, more of people to my society, not sure what you're sharing, but I'm just assuming that you are expressing your joy of of how things are happening. Mansi is saying it's heartening to know that we will look at the bad days in hindsight and see that we have learned from them. Yeah, I think those bad days gives us a lot of time and space to know, question ourselves, why it's happening, what do I want, how do I want to change, as Sharmila has been sharing. So it's almost 6, and I just want to share, just to bring this experience to all of us and to share this experience. Iniyaal has made some adjustment with her music classes because initially when I asked Sharmila, Sharmila said, "I'm fine, I can come, but the Iniyaal I have to check." And I'm so glad, Iniyaal, you made it, because it inspires. I don't know whether it inspires or not, but it makes a difference in people's life who are just planning to start, who are just thinking that is that possible or not. So it's so joyful to see you, that you came and shared your stories with others, and maybe some of us can connect with you or maybe learn from you, that okay, it's kind of a role model, that something is there in front of us for us to take forward. Anything you want to conclude, Sharmila and Iniyaal, this session with, something you want to share? Yeah, or if, yeah, so Ratnish is reminding some of you, if you have any questions about Aarohi, you can stay after this and connect with Ratnesh. I would like to just conclude it with Sharmila's and Iniyal's, something which you want to share, something at this moment you're wanting to connect.
I would just like to thank you. It is so nice to just think about my travel from the days that my daughter had gone to school, the kind of tension that I had in pushing her to school and get into all bad days, as I said. Even the bad days where when she was going to school, and even today morning we had a bad day. I would say today was a bad day. Even today morning we had a fight, and both of us had a fight. I had to shout at her; she has to shout back at me, just for a small activity to be completed. So uh, the travel that I had, it was very nice to recall and to share with people. It felt so awesome, and I would say in spite of all these bad days or whatever, things are turning out good. Things are turning out positive. The child is getting happier and happier. The child is getting more confident. Now she feels that she is having her own plans. She is having her own path. She is feeling that she's completing something. I don't know if she's really completed. She's just a small girl. She's just 12-year girl, but inside what she is feeling is just that she's doing something great. That she's getting confident, she's getting happy, she's getting more socialized. These are the positive things that are turning out, even after our bad days, I would say.
Ilian, you want to share something? What are you thinking at this moment?
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I actually wanted to go to my music class, but coming here gave a lot of fun. Thank you so much. I had a wonderful time.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being with us. And if you want to ask anything about Aarohi or open schooling or homeschooling, or if you're planning to do something, and if you're looking for support system, you can stay here and Ratnesh can ask whatever we can share, whatever we want, whatever are your questions to start with. Yeah, Saraswati is one of the mother. Her child is coming, so she is quite eager to share her experience or her experiences, or she likes talking about Aarohi. Um, Nitin is asking how much time does any child to take get used to new type of learning environment.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, over to Ratnesh now.
Nitin, possibly a lifetime, if not more. Yeah, there is no getting used to anything. Life is just a roller coaster, going up, down, here, there. We are all the time moving, changing, exploring.
Vijay saying the similar thing.
Yeah, or maybe the opposite thing in a different way. Yes, so it's. I guess there is no. It's not getting used to anything. It's just. It's a journey, right? So there is no reaching a settled or a used to point. I'm sure by the time Iniyaal gets used to one thing, she's already moved on to something else.
Yes, yes.
That's the beauty of life, right? Why do I want to stay in one place?
Different dimensions, different aspects of life, and she has still, the list is still going on. Not
and
one.
Iniyaal, never let that list get closed. Keep it open. let it flow. Let the life flow out of you. Absolutely.
Yes.
This was really a wonderful discussion that I had with you all, and I'm really thankful to you for just making this platform on for me.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you
think
so much.
This is 35th session or the Saturday when we are having this conversation, and I feel I'm the only one who is the most richer person out there because
I'm inspired in here.
We hear your stories and get understanding more, one more step about this whole how like when people like Iniyaal comes on this platform and shares, so listen to them. What are these young minds are thinking? This young mind of 12 year is already started thinking that the next generation should have a school which which should give a space to children who are, which is quite wonderful what Iniyaal you're thinking. Whether you're doing it or not doesn't matter. You're thinking at this moment, which is quite important. Yep. So Sharmila has put up a number. I will also share we have a number of parents who have come to this platform. They're all the contact number and all. So if anybody wants to connect with them and just listen to more stories, and in case if you're planning, you can connect with Sharmila. You can connect with anybody. Dwiji is also one of our parents in Aarohi, and have a wonderful, we all have different stories in different forms. Yeah, Preeti, what you're saying is it gives energy to listening to all different experiences and stories, because these stories are very less talked about. Yeah. Normally, like even Sharmila in the beginning, she was not that okay, she does this, but if you see, actually the Iniyaal is a treasure of doing what all she's doing. So the more you listen, more you connect, more you get that world that things are happening. So it's quite nice. So with that, I think we should yes.
Yeah, so I can be around if anybody has